I think particularly since with social media becoming mobile in the last 3 years, so everyone's got complete access to information from other people on their handheld devices and stuff. I actually think the biggest thing that's sort of collapsing that end of the market is that when you announce, there's no music fan I know that gets a band announced that they like, that wants to see them on a multi-genre festival. You know, it's not their preferred place to see a band. So in a situation where you're announcing a lineup with rock and dance and a bunch of other stuff, it's not appealing to a particular type of person, so you don't get that social and sort of cultural energy through a certain type of person to make something work. It actually divides the people. So I think in the 90s probably, when you announced a festival, it was a social and cultural occasion and there was very few of them, so obviously it mobilised everybody. But now it's, for you to claim your status as a person that is a particular, so if you want to say you're a hipster or you're a dance person, you don't, the way you claim that status is by criticising things generally online. So you'll say, oh, that lineup's fucked, or I can't believe I've got to go and see Arcade Fire with Pearl Jam, or whatever your complaint is, you'll generally put it out there. And so you can feel like a bit of a hero for those few seconds.
I don't really know of many festivals in New Zealand that have ever cancelled, even in, I mean, I had massive respect for Big Day Out in Auckland a couple of years ago going through with that event, you know?
I don't. I don't. My wife doesn't.
I mean, for me, basically, that's the role of the promoter, right? Is that you're, at the end of the day, you're there to sell tickets, make a successful event. If the event doesn't work, you shouldn't be a promoter, you know? Or you need to take a long, hard look at yourself and take some time off. I mean, you know, there's, when an event is cancelled, there's so many people who is affected. I mean, there's so many bands who, when they book at a festival, they have to turn down many other festivals. And when they get cancelled for that festival appearance, they've lost all these other opportunities because all those other festivals have been booked out. Then there's all the people who have bought tickets, there's the crew who set the time aside, there's the people who've made the travel, there's the hotels. It's like, you're this one person or this group of people that just made this decision that just affected hundreds of people's lives, you know, maybe thousands. And I mean, I always believe that you need to fall on your sword, you know, you have to, that's it. You know, if you have to go through the rest of your life paying for that decision, you know, that was.
You never have to do them, do you?
No, yeah. And there are legitimate reasons why festival, you know, like, man, if your festival gets wiped out by a flood the day before and you've got to, like, try and work out a way, but, you know, I mean, not selling enough tickets, you failed as a promoter. You shouldn't be a promoter.
I've found promoters are a little bit like sewerage. You might put the pipe a little bit longer on out to sea, but the turds will still float back up on the beach eventually. The bad ones in particular, because it's addictive. It's just because, and it's the ones that are the gamblers that get the most addicted to the process. Because if they weren't doing concerts, they'd be, and some of them still are, booking on horses and being at the casino, and they're actually doing it because they're addicted to the gambling process of it, not the artistic or importance or the structure of it or the social responsibility of it. And that I think that where my process of thing of trying to get this through is I can't handle the idea of being responsible, which is from 2012 with, say, New Zealand. I only did that because everybody over there, I couldn't tell them they didn't have a job. So instead, I could have given everybody $100,000 to not do the show, which would have been better for them.
I should have called you, Ken.
What?
I could have told you. I should have called you.
You should have called me. But I thought honesty was the best policy. But, you know, I'm still in that case situation. But I think it's a really exciting process that you get into. But you don't actually know when you start. But you do know in the case of what we've done is that, you know, Cathy has stood by me through this process for the last 10 years. And you go, I haven't had a year off. It's a repetitive cycle. I'm going through the same process again. I don't think I'm learning anymore. And I don't think that, all those things in your life are meant to put on hold just because you've got something that's successful.
Sure.
Or unsuccessful. It doesn't make any difference. Yeah. So there's a passion to do it, and there's a passion to stop it. And it has to be equal to actually not do it anymore. And so therefore he's the best connection we can have between each other, because I can start a sentence and he can finish it, or vice versa on something. So it just seemed logical.
Plus, he got rid of Harvest Festival for you.
I didn't do that, no. No, I mean, the reality of it is that, again, this is the process that hoping something would build is harder than you think. And you think that if you start there and you do that, you might get to the point. But again, those things will only work on that if you can design a show of what you want, not design a show of what's available. And that was the unbelievable luxury of the big day out. It was third album in. Everybody goes, oh, how did you pick those bands so far ahead? I just had a subscription to NME and flew over and had a look at them and go, you're great, you're on your third album, would you like to come to Australia? I mean, it wasn't like the first download on YouTube. He's passionate, and there's not that many people around there that are prepared to take this on.